In episode number 1 of ranking the 50 best players going into 2020, you guys let me know in the comment section down below that you think I should have done it a little bit different. The first one is that Clayton Kershaw is not better than Walker Buehler. I saw that a couple times. Next up, apparently Trey Turner is overrated. Not sure if I agree with that one. And then last but not least, Eugenio Suarez should have been rated higher. I want you guys all to understand that I appreciate your comments and concerns. So what we're going to do is in a future video, I will be taking note of all of the things that maybe I got wrong, and we're going to go ahead and correct them in a fan video. It's going to be an absolute banger. I'm not even going to spoil it, but make sure that you guys are subscribed. And in today's video, we're going to go ahead and continue on with the series. It's in a full playlist, so if you guys missed episode number 1, make sure you guys watch that and then come back to this video, because today we will go over the 40th to the 31st best players in Major League Baseball going into 2020. And man, this list, it's going to get a little bit tight. At the number 40 spot, now remember guys, this is just my opinion. This is not set in stone. If you guys disagree with me, please let me know in the comment section down below. It's really fun to debate you guys, and again, I will be taking note for a future video. But with that being said, I do think that Luis Severino deserves to be in the top 40 going forward. I know he did not play in a lot of games last season. In fact, he only started in 3 regular season games and then 1 playoff game. But let's face it, he's Luis Severino. This guy is going to strike out 200 hitters easily if he's healthy. Now, the one concern I do have is the fact that when he did return healthy in 2019, yes, he had the 1.5 ERA in 3 starts, but he walked 6 hitters in 12 innings, and then the game he did start in the playoffs against the Astros, he walked 3 hitters in just 4.1 innings pitched. So I do think that if he's healthy and if he's able to get that control intact, he's going to be Luis Severino that we saw in 2017 and 2018. For right now, because of the health concerns, he won't be cracking the top 30 or anything like that. He's sitting at number 40 and the first player in today's video. This one might come as a surprise to you because I am one of the biggest Bryce Harper fans in all of baseball. We're from the same town. We're Vegas brothers. We're supposed to have each other's back, but Bryce Harper, in my opinion, he is the 39th best player going into next season, and the biggest reason why, he hasn't been able to show that he can hit above 260 in the last 2 seasons. In 2018, he led baseball with 130 walks, which is great, but he had a 249 batting average, and then in 2019, he hit 260. So I think that he's definitely progressing. The batting average is going in the right direction. Will he be able to repeat that MVP season he had back in 2015? I'm hoping that he can. He is just 27 years old. He had 35 bombs, 15 stolen bases, and he actually led all of the National League in outfield assists, so he can get it done in the field, and he's getting it done in the batter's box. But the ceiling of Bryce Harper is so much higher, and I expect more from him. So unfortunately, he's going to be 39th on today's list, just ahead of Luis Severino, because he's played in 159 games and then 157 in back-to-back seasons. So the durability, it's there. I don't even think that Charlie Morton himself would have thought that his career would have ended up this way. In 2008 and 2009, honestly even 2010, this man combined for a 6 ERA. Who would have thought that he would turn it completely around? He went to the Pirates, then he went to the Phillies, and then guess what? The Astros finally fixed this man. At 33 years old, he lowered his ERA to 3.62. He even bettered that in 2018 with a 3.13 record, and then last but not least in 2019, the reason why he will be the 38th best baseball player going into 2020 is because he had a 16-6 record with the Tampa Bay Rays, and 11.1 strikeouts per 9, a 2.6 walks per 9. And the cherry on top is not the fact that he led baseball in home runs per 9, so he does not give up the long ball. He's a big game pitcher. In the playoffs, he was absolutely unstoppable. It almost takes my breath away how good he was, how clutch he was. If you guys missed it, just take a look at these highlights. Charlie Morton is absolutely filthy. You guys saw the title. I put that Chris Sale is overrated, and I'm not saying that Chris Sale is overrated. Maybe Chris Sale is past his prime, but he's only 30 years old. I'm going to blame the Boston Red Sox pitching staff for not really knowing what was wrong with Chris Sale. From the beginning of the season, they were saying that he's going to be all right. Even though he's throwing 90 to 89 miles an hour, we're just trying to get him in shape and make sure that he is ready for the playoffs. He never made it to the playoffs because, first of all, the Red Sox didn't get there, and lastly, he didn't even finish the season because of an injury. So the fact that I don't really blame Chris Sale, for full transparency, he did have a 4.4 ERA, and he also had a career high in home runs per 9. His whip was still at a 1.08. That's amazing. And his strikeouts per 9 were above 13. He's incredibly filthy. I am going to blame the Red Sox and their training staff for this. He is at number 37 because they did not manage it properly. He's going to be back to normal. You guys have to let me know in the the comment section down below. Did I get this right? Did I get this wrong? Where's Chris Sale at on your list? Did you guys know that this kid is only 22 years old? That was the joke of the entire postseason because Gleyber Torres showed up big time for the New York Yankees, and it's still kind of surprising that he is 22 years old because he plays like a veteran. If we take a look at his stats in 2018, he had 24 rookie home runs. I don't know if you guys really projected him to get better, but he did. His OPS jumped 51 points from 820 to 871, and his home runs jumped from 24 to 38. I think that he is going to be special for quite some time. The only problem with me and putting Gleyber Torres higher up on this list is the fact that his defense cost the Yankees a lot. We saw it in the playoffs, we saw it throughout the regular season. So with that being said, the reason why I am not putting him ahead of guys like Fernando Tatis Jr., even though he only played 80-something games in 2019, his defense is a lot better than Torres. I think that he is going to get better with age. We've seen it happen before with Corey Dickerson. Started off as an awful defender. Austin Meadows and Gleyber Torres are in the same category. Offensive juggernauts, but their defense holds them back. And again, this is a value-based list. I'm going to see if you're versatile, if you have durability, if you have consistency. And for right now, yes, the consistency and durability is there, but the versatility, he's kind of just an offensive guy. And the same goes for our next two players. They're offensive juggernauts, but they're actually going to be designated hitters. First off, we're going to be talking about JD Martinez, and then after that, I'm pretty sure that you guys can fill in the blanks of the best DH in baseball. Yes, Nelson Cruz is now the best DH in baseball, but we're going to talk about JD Martinez first because he will be coming in at the number 35 spot, and he actually had a down year in 2019, but still, a down season for JD is 36 home runs, 105 RBIs, and a 939 OPS. And I guess the downside to this video is the fact that we are taking into account defense and versatility, so when you are just a designated hitter, you can't really be in the mix for best all-around player, although you still deserve to be on the list. I just don't know if you can beat out someone like Fernando Tatis Jr. or Marcus Semien or DJ LeMahieu. Any of those guys that we just said are going to be ahead of JD on this list. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but as a hitter, outstanding. Defensively, yes, no. So using that same logic, I will be putting Nelson Cruz just ahead of JD Martinez. JD finished 21st in the American League MVP award, while Nelson Cruz was top 10. So I think that he does deserve it, even though JD has been pretty much better the last 3 or 4 seasons. We can't discount what Nelson Cruz did, and honestly, I don't know why he was not an all-star in 120 games. Are you guys ready for this? After missing 42 games in 2019, Nelson Cruz had 41 home runs, drove in 108 RBIs. He did strike out 131 times, which is a lot for 120 games, but the fact that he finished the season with the 1,031 OPS, I mean, come on, how are you not going to put him in the top 30, top 20, considering his bat is that elite? And I can't do it because his speed is not there, his defense is not there. The versatility does matter on today's list, and that's why he'll be number 34. But as a hitter, if you're of age, if you're like 45, 50 years old, if you have any baseball players in the family and they are about to pitch to Nelson Cruz, good luck to you because their ERA is most likely going to go up. If I have a son, I'm hoping that Nelson Cruz does not, and because if they face off against each other, I don't care how good my future son is with my genes, no, my kid's gonna get a home run hit off him every single time if Nelson Cruz Jr. is up to bat. I don't want that mess. At the number 33 spot, we are going to choose Josh Donaldson, and the reason why is because he's a perfect example of not really being the best at hitting or defense, but he's good at both, enough to the point where he has a 6.1 WAR in 2019. I have not brought up the WAR stat one time in either of these episodes simply because it makes a lot of people upset. It's kind of the Mike Trout stat, and I understand that, so I haven't really brought up WAR, but he did hit 37 home runs and drove in 94 RBIs in 2019. He had a 900 OPS. Again, OPS is my favorite stat because the higher it is, the better you are as a hitter. And then he finished with a 1.7 defensive WAR over there at third base. Whatever team is going to sign this guy, whether it's the Nationals or the Phillies or any other team involved in the Donaldson sweepstakes, they are going to get a top player. And again, it might be surprising that he's not higher up on this list. Just like I did with Eugenio Suarez in episode number 1, maybe Donaldson ends up in that same category of players that I underrated. Now though, it's time to do it. At the number 32 spot, someone that I might regret. I don't think so though. Fernando Tatis Jr. When your dad is the only human in baseball history to have 2 grand slams in one single inning, yeah, those are pretty big cleats to fill. And in 2019, let's just say he's the better of the two. His dad, nope, he could not do what his son is doing. At 20 years old, remember, to put stuff into perspective, at 20 years old, it's been done before with Juan Soto and Ronald Acuna Jr., so it's not like it's a fluke of a season, beginner's luck. It's nothing like that. This kid, he has raw talent and he is ready to play. He's a gamer. In 84 games, his season was cut short due to injury. He had 6 triples, 22 home runs, 16 stolen bases. He did only have 30 walks to 110 strikeouts, so that does need to come down, but he hit for average with the 317 final line, and then he also had a 969 OPS. Again, I love the OPS stat. Anytime that you are above 900, you are considered an elite hitter. So when you combine all of that into one single player, you have Fernando Tatis Jr., who can hit for power with 22 home runs. He can run with 16 stolen bases. He was really on pace for an 8 WAR. Again, I don't like bringing up the WAR stat because you guys seem to hate it, but the fact that he almost went for 8 WAR in his rookie season, that's incredible. The only reason why he's not higher up on this list is he does have some injury concerns. They're going to be real, and it might affect him and cost him a few games. So for right now, he's going to be right behind the number 31 guy, Ketel Marte. If you would have told me that Ketel Marte would finish 4th in the 2019 MVP race, I would have walked away and laughed at you, because he's not the best player in the entire world. Before 2019, his highest total home run was 14 back in 2018. His highest OPS was 2018 as well. So maybe there was a few people that saw this coming because he was projecting to be a great player going forward, and then he just exploded. Now, I don't know where it came from, because let me do a little math right now. So in 2015, he had 2 home runs. So from 2015 to 2018, my man's had 22 total home runs and 402 games played, 22 home runs. Then 2019 comes around and he's able to have this stat line: 144 games played, 32 home runs, 92 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, so he was still pretty quick, a 329 batting average, and a 981 OPS. Ketel Marte is our 31st player, and just like Fernando Tatis Jr. with his injury concerns, there's only one reason why Marte is not on the upper echelon of this list, and that's because we have to see consistency. Can he repeat this? Does he have the longevity to be able to do this at 26 years old going to 2020? I think that he's going to be great. That's why he's on this list, but is he going to repeat? I don't think so, and that's just my humble opinion. If you think I'm wrong, always, I love debates. Let me know in the comment section down below, and he's our 31st best baseball player going into next season. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for episode number 2. Remember, this is going to be a full series, so if you are not subscribed, if you don't have those bells turned on, please do so. These videos are going to be in a full playlist, so if you missed episode number 1, or maybe you're on episode number 4, you need to go back and watch them again. The playlist will be there. Go back and watch it. It's going to be a great time. Debate in the comment section down below. Am I stupid? Am I kind of on point? We're going to go ahead and make all of these different corrections in a future video, but for right now, these are my opinions. This is my research, and I feel like I did pretty decent. This is a lot of fun, so I don't really care how these videos do. In the future, a banger is on the way, and I'll make you guys proud. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.